Fair enough. Well, we're going to be digging into the pistol here. GenG starting things off on offense. TSM will be the team kind of coming at us here defensively. I believe our overlay just a touch backwards to represent that. There is the Trailblazer coming through first. Boombot as well. Aggressive play through the showers, and Gwyn will find first blood. Wardell has to fall back.
So 4v5 straight away, and it's actually going to be the Rays gone. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for TSM's initial defense here. So you already see a rotation coming through from Cutlib. This is going to be a good response, a little bit of an extra utility being placed by Kuster as well, just kind of lurking, trying to maybe peel back a few members from TSM, and that is going to be some information to confirm members are still in the showers.
And then here comes the hit. Gwyn using the guiding light to free themselves forward, but did not actually get any clearance towards this quad stack box. Cutler able to find one, Wardell more, but GenG's able to respond in kind. We get left with a 2v2 situation. So Bros is still on top of the site, and oh my goodness, however did GMT miss that shot? It will be traded back, but it comes at a pretty steep cost as Kust is down to 18 HP for a 1v1. Spike still currently down, but a spy cam is there to help him work this maybe a little bit more freely, and that should result in an opportunity for him to potentially get this spike planted. Just comes down to Hayes' timing, and now that plant does come through. Hayes lurking forward, he knows exactly where this play is, gets the spy cam deleted, even 1v1. No armor for Hayes. The headshot would do it, and Kusta finds it on cue. GenG take the pistol and go up 1-0.
Two now, no force spies, no stingers. We're on the new patch. Not quite onto the Astra patch, as we know. That's 2.03, not 2.04 currently. Gwyn onto drone straight away. That's drone's second first blooded death in a row.
Yeah, it seems like TSM saying, all right, if they want to put a lot of effort through showers, let's just take a look over towards B long. And, well, that look gets instantly punished. So a very early 4v5 situation that TSM will have to respond to. Cutler also will be tagged up a touch, so he will be forced to give up a little bit of an angle. Kusta just lurking over by A. We'll have a dark cover to play with. Sean in the middle. Nice shots there. Able to take down Hayes, and we've got a very comfortable 5v3 for GenG.
And TSM on this pistol, I mean, they would need to be stacking over towards B really hard. They can't get a single kill so far. It's down to Subrosa. 8 HP. Would need to find a tap. Gets it onto Sean, so that's not bad in terms of at least dropping one gun. Not expecting too much more coming through for Wardell, though. The last player alive for TSM. The plant should be able to come in. Wardell even looking on a shorty. Needs to find something in a smoke if possible. And the timing is going to be super important here. The question will be with GenG if they want to actually try and challenge Wardell or not. Are they going to try and push him to Link? What's Wardell going to try and do about this situation? Because, again, a shorty not great for this retake. Would have to just, I don't know, make a dash play or something.
You know, both teams are 7-2 on this map since we've started the Valorant Champions Tour. It's been a stronger defensive side, though, for TSM as they do get a bit more aggressive, trying to challenge over through showers. Sean tried to dive on in, and this broke down quickly. You also have Drone, who made the play through the teleporter to assist if necessary, but that would not be required, and now GenG find themselves in a 2v5.
TSM get the full heal up here as well, so everyone's going to be pretty healthy. It's going to come down to just the two more members. Maybe they can find a bit of a timing. Even through the wall, that's not too bad in terms of damage. Gimon finds Wardell. Spike is technically down. I don't know how much extra damage GenG can do here. Just Kusa with the Spectre. He's been surrounded as well. Knows he's in a lot of trouble. And TSM don't even have to really do too much here. They can just play for the time if they want to. It's GenG. They need to somehow recover the spike and do something. And Kusta, I mean, 50 seconds of just checking cameras and trying to spam into this wall.
Hoping, praying, seeing if the Valorant gods will favor him with the timing somewhere. And Kusta will be able to collect the spike, actually exchange his Spectres for one that actually had less ammunition than the one he was holding. And then here is the peak, but Kusta, not bad, does find one more elimination.
Bring this one back into play. Gwyn, though, still only with the judge.
Yeah, still on a judge. And, well, Sean finding first blood onto Wardell, that would mean that there is a weapon upgrade if he so chooses to use it, but it feels like this is going to be one of those aggressive hits from GenG where they just kind of use a smoke execute, get Win in there, and see if the judge can lay down the law for them. Here comes the posture through A main. Subrosa watching. Dark cover fades. Guiding light has to avoid that, and as he does, Sean finds the easy kill. Win up top. Not able to take care of Cutler, but does get some damage confirmed. But regardless, GenG have taken the site.
Cutler's on 44 health now. Can't self-heal. TSM on this retake now have nothing really to work with. GenG, a bunch of ultimates now as we start to head into that part of the map. And in this particular post plan as well, everyone's so far on site. Bit of an off angle been taken by Sean. First contact coming through. It's going to come down to Hayes, who's been tagged even by the camera. And here comes the nade as well. This should be pretty big damage.
Great shells. That'll push everybody back and force TSM to reconsider what do they want to do with not a lot of time. And it looks like the answer will be put a sentry turret down, fade back, and make sure that we can save our rifles going into round number 4. A little bit of aggression from TSM trying to get control of this ultimate orb by B long. And while the Seekers come through, here comes Win. He does have the Blade Storm. Round is not able to find Hayes, who locks down the site with 2. And that will put a very steep stall to GenG on this attempt. They're going to have to try to be a little bit more controlled. And, well, they actually control themselves by standing on top of one another as Drone is able to line up a collide and a flawless defensive round for TSM.
Yeah, it's still at around the 50-ish kind of second mark here, and TSM don't quite know what GenG are going to do. You do see one rotation, the drone is coming over, and Kusa's down.
It's a big first blood for Wardell. The spike and all of this passive setup for GenG is still over by Spicemark, and the Sabrosa finds a second kill for the defense. Now GenG is in a 3v5, and you have to really consider what exactly do you want to do. You don't want to just give up this round, but at the same point, how much do you spend trying to work your way in? Hayes, next one up, finds the kill. That's on the spike carrier. Nanostorm to keep it safe, and now you're all of a sudden for GenG in a position where you're just trying to fight for a couple of kills and maybe keep Michael onto this, Mikhail onto this Vandal.
Oh, rough timing.
But Wardell is playing a bit differently. On top of this double box, dark cover keeping him safe for the time being. In the timing of when this dissipates, can he find an elimination? Sure does, and is able to tailwind away. Wardell trying to keep his life. Paranoia just to try to see if they can find an elimination. Wynn's gonna go forward, able to find the trade, and he gets a second. Are you kidding? This keeps the GenG offense alive. Just comes down to can they successfully fully clear out Sabrosa, who has been eluding all of this GenG offense until he finally gets caught up by the neural theft, and that will be the end of him. And now TSM with the Seekers looking to retake into 2v4.
And thankfully for that neural theft as well, otherwise GenG would have a little bit more issues to deal with. Still a couple of ultimates available for TSM. Seekers are gone, locked down now. Potentially going to be initiated. Counter Seekers to be flown in as well. That's pretty quick coming through from side of Mikhail, who I think might even be his second Seeker so far. 2 versus 3 definitely still doable, especially with GMD down.
The lockdown will be in play. GenG has to make a move. Mikhail finds one, goes to 1v1, and Mikhail takes it!
They know operators on the map, so I think GenG are going to take this one a little slower. Still got a couple flashes available, and I do think they'll want to push in with a showstopper as well. That's been ready for a while.
Oh, Sabrosa, hello? I mean, he hadn't been spamming through that dark cover much at all, and then when he chooses to, he walks away with the kill. Wardell, another. The showstopper for Sean does find one elimination, but he's taken out simultaneously, and it comes just down to Guamon. No chance whatsoever. Sabrosa locking down lamps, and TSM are able to tie this game back up at 4. Cutler's shoulder could be first point of contact. He also really wants this ultimate orb to earn the Seekers up. Hazed sees information. That's the spike carrier that's going to be down. And Cutler also knows that the sky is somewhere nearby. So TSM's defense is being tested, but it's not being tested all that much right now as GenG have lost one and taken a lot of damage onto their sky player. Mikhail's going to have to give this up. And as the repeat over towards Hookah comes through, TSM clean things up.
Move over towards A. Probably first eyes towards Shower as well. That would be huge. Drone's already got the off angle covered, so this could be potentially pretty tough for GenG as Seekers do roll out.
Seekers start cover. There goes the tailwind, and Win nearly comes up empty with the Blaze Storm, but does find one instantly traded. Sabrosa, can he be tested? He's found himself a double thus far and has kept his life. Wardell trying to keep him safe just beyond the quad box. And so far, that actually puts GenG in a bit of a corner. Mikhail is considering the plant, but as he wide swings, we'll find a couple more kills, and that will be a much more secured plant in the mix for GenG. 2v3 in the retake. Seekers are out immediately. Cutler trying to get some information, but Hayes has to deal with a tracking dart. Now point of contact on the outer. Cutler good for 1. Kusta responds, and Kusta gets 2 at the end. Maybe 1 pick, or at least see numbers before he has to tailwind away, and he very well could get first point of contact here, finds the kill, and then off screen, Hayes finds Win. That's over towards the B site, and that will be enough for TSM to be in a very comfortable position here in round 11 at a 5v3.
That's Win with an operator as well, so Hayes actually beats Win in that 1v1, which is absolutely massive for TSM, so with 4 ultimates available, as the time starts running out here, GenG, yeah, they're going to go for it because there's only 2 rounds left. You want to play for every single round. But I mean, this is not looking great. 5 versus 3, showstopper here from Drone, and this is just going to slow things down even further. The fact he gets a kill, Hayes gets another one as well, and we're just down to Gimon, and I don't think he's going to do much more.
Seems to be rotating over to B. Lockdown was also spent defensively just in case. There's the guiding light play. Win on the way forward. Wardell is going to be able to respond to this. He's actually avoided it so far. Sabrosa has helped for first elimination. The quick scope not going to be there, but Sabrosa through lamps is good for not just 2 but 3. Still holding his life. The defense rotating over, and GenG are just down to 2. Kusta lingering over by B will fall, and now time becoming a problem. 10 seconds. Win what would be a 1v4 situation. Has to try to stick for a plant, and as he does, Hayes makes the wrap, finds the 7th round for TSM, and we go to our halftime break. TSM in a very strong spot as they'll rotate back over and be on the offense. We come back after this.
GenG will be starting their pistol with a little bit of early aggression down short. Sees nothing for now, but they have no information towards showers. So let's see what GenG can do with this type of information. Contact should be found pretty quickly onto market. It's Jet on Jet, and Wardell wins the 1v1.
I mean, talk about clutch timing. Wardell lingering near Spices. It's the sentry turret that makes him heads up. But Sean, speaking of heads, able to find himself the first headshot to keep things in a 4v4. Gamond is also here to try to assist on this hold. And as we get a little dicey, goodness gracious. Thought for a second Sean got both with the snapper, but it's Gamond for 1. And we've got ourselves a 4v2 early. Kusta able to make it now just down to 1. Good luck, have fun if you're Cutler. Not going to get anything going, and GenG take the second pistol. They were, or pardon me, their defensive side, they tried to play a bit more stack heavy and aggressive. That looks to be somewhat similar here as they are trying to get themselves some action towards B long, but it's Sean inside who could find first blood. Guiding light comes out. Mikhail looking for information, and boy, did he find it. Cost him a bit of his health pool. Also seeing the wrist of Hayes was Sean. Will find a second elimination, and GenG, a very comfortable spot so far. Is how many can Sean get is the question. Finds himself 4. Trailblazer will give him the information. Do you give him the ace? Apparently not, says Win. But a very clean second round for GenG. Flawless as they tie it up at 7. But TSM, they know that information was gained on them. They will quickly wrap back, and Wardell will be the first one forward on this execute through mid. And there's only one player here defensively. It's only Kusta who's here. The spy cam will reveal. Does get flashed for a moment, just trying to play his life inside of lamps. Gets the first point of contact, takes down Cutler. He's able to find Wardell from the side, +4. Are you kidding me? Kusta for 3. Sean eventually gets there for the showstopper, and it's left the drone for a 1v2. He's going to try to quickly rotate through the teleporter and get this spike planted, but there are players around him on both sides. He will get there just in the nick of time. It just comes down to, can he get to a position to allow him to actually successfully play this post plant. First point of contact out of Mikhail, reads it, but the problem is you've got Win from behind, and GenG, oh my goodness. An opportunity for them to find 4 rounds strung together in a row here defensively. TSM just on pistol upgrades, trying to find a way to make this round punishing, and boy have they. Wardell will find first blood at long range versus Win, and now an opportunity for TSM to try to work for numbers and potentially also work for this weapon.
Yeah, they do want to indeed. I mean, here comes a Trailblazer as well. They confirm that somebody is definitely still there. At this point in time, I think GenG might even want to start thinking about rotating over. And I know that's maybe early days, but with TSM dropping a gun over here, they definitely want to play for B long. It's low HP even coming through for Wardell. Flash comes through, pretty successful, slows down the push, but TSM has now collected that rifle, gives them a little bit more of a chance to play this.
Yeah, the exchange there was the guiding light for TSM, but the paranoia for GenG. And now here comes the full hit through B long. Mikhail first one up, already tagged down pretty low. Damage is still pretty substantial, but Gamond is also here. He finds himself 2, but Sabrosa with that picked up rifle will find 3, doing it 1 better. And now it just comes down to Kusta again. Gets the first. Knows that there's a second also still over towards B long, but for now he has cleared the site, and as you mentioned, the teleport will come through, and watching the rotation, well, that's going to be Hayes. He's already set up in a position to make sure that the A-Link stays safe.
So this is the real test now. They know that Wardell has gone through showers. Obviously, he's got the spike as well. Minimal time. He'll get the plant, no issues. Seems like the camera, yeah, the camera was actually still on there, so pretty huge. Kusta still has a decent amount to play with here. Full HP. Now, this is going to be where we see if Kusta can continue winning the clutch situations. Very low HP on Wardell. One shot will do it. Hayes, though, can he find the timing? This is where they're getting a lot of chip damage as well. Off angle's been taken here. Kusta has no idea, and Hayes swings through. Not only have guns, but they have the ultimates as well. Remember, we were waiting for timings for TSM. Sabrosa already looking forward from the shadows. Goes all the way towards Link and confirms it.
So now it's just down to, can GenG respond to this? No, Sabrosa good for first point of contact. And so now TSM have made their way on Kusta. How heroic can you be here? Nanoswarm was sent out, not going to find anything. He's going to allow the spike to be planted, wait for a bit of help. Delayed peek, finds 1 elimination, not going to get the second as Sabrosa doubles down. And now you look at GenG. with Sean on the long wrapping flank. But TSM also have Cutler, who have cleared out showers. 3v4. Showstopper still in play if required for TSM. Mikhail has made his way on. Quinn trying to clear angles with the operator. Cloudburst will try to keep denial of a line of sight out of showers, and Sean's pinch is successful. Finds the first. Time becoming a bit of a problem, or is it? Just down to Cutler. Finds one. Needs to get the second and does. 1v1 situation. Gets the shoulder peek and now plays the clock accordingly. Doesn't even need to. Cutler for 3. TSM up by 1.
I think with maybe a few more seconds to play with, possibly Cutler still wins the 1v1. I think he was probably favored, but you'd then probably get a little bit more util of Cutler. He'd have to spend maybe the Seekers. That would have been huge in terms of at least GenG coming back. And now in this particular round, at least a 1-for-1 trade. Sean finds the long-range sheriff, and that's decent.
And that's the Bladestorm that's also off the table for GenG on this pistol upgrade round. Instant denial coming out of Wardell, and he has won a couple of gunfights through B long that I think in most circumstances you would expect it to go the opposite. An exchange of Trailblazers. Looks like Mikhail has avoided his successfully. Sabrosa playing shoulders. Not going to be able to find a kill as GenG have to try to do what they can to hold their lives in this 3v4 and hope that help can rotate over quick enough.
Still 1 minute roughly to play with here. Both teams, I was going to say both teams, are really just TSM. The ultimates on GenG are gone now, the ones they really wanted anyway. Mikhail's going to have to come up huge on the Spectre, similar to what we saw from Kusta earlier, but Sabrosa's too good for that. Now the last two coming through from GenG, even the due diligence to throw in the Seekers here, they won't really need it. The Seekers will reveal that somebody's in hookah. Kusta's going to try and run away. The alarm bot even spots him, and just a frenzy available means it's pretty bad news here.
Paint shells will also get a bit of chip damage as the spike does get planted. TSM not wanting to give away any other lives. Kusta will see a bit of information as jumping over the top was Cutler. Sabrosa watching through the defensive spawn, able to find his third kill in the round, and that will mean that TSM should be able to lock this up pretty clean with the last 4 members that are surviving. Cutler still wanting to check out the game, commits the Trailblazer. We'll see one player close. That is going to be Kusta, but he knows that there will be help with the spam shots, with the paint shells. Kusta in a world of hurt, lucky to be alive, just down to 6 HP, and at this point, you've got to rotate Mikhail over to see if you can get him back near full health.
The problem is, I don't even know if TSM realized they've done damage because they probably expected, okay, we saw Kusta, there's no way he stays. He's going to move for sure because Wardell picks up the opening kill into Guimon, but what they don't know is they confirmed a lot of damage, and there it is. Overkill even from Wardell. Drone's going to respond with even more. Straight into lamps. It doesn't matter. Wardell's got 3 so far, and this is gone. GenG have no chance anymore. And as is mentioned, it's very likely that Huyn is not going to do anything further here. He wants to keep the gun. They need something to work with for the next. And to be fair, TSM should chase this for sure. TSM should not allow Huyn to get away. As now GenG rotate one more extra coming through from Huyn and hoping they can at least have a bit of a defense going with 3.
It does avoid the guiding light, misses the one tap. Second challenger was Gomon, third challenger Huyn. Only one of them going to find an elimination and wins down to just 65 HP. Would have to catch some brilliant timing here if he wants to try to even the odds, at least as far as the numbers are concerned. Sabrosa locking things up through lamps, finds the shoulder, finds the headshot. TSM's hopes down, or probably up to a 4v1 situation. It's GenG that's down to the solo player, and Mikhail, as he tries to come out of the dirt cover, will be dealt with. So TSM on 12, and it will be 4 rounds required in a row from GenG if they want to see overtime. Through everything else so far, including that TSM Thrifty, they put us to 8-8. So now as TSM start to make their play through A mid, Kusta has been paranoid. Guiding Light will also blind him up. Drone for first blood. Hayes dropping the lockdown and the take of the A site. Should be successful off this win. Thinking about it, will take the peak. That's the spike carrier down. And an opportunity here for GenG to potentially start to fight this one back in a 4v4.
Sabrosa has a potential timing here. There's no way. Yeah, Huyn doesn't know. Huyn is not going to check that angle either. Scoped in to look over towards showers. Going to confirm that no one else is in showers now either. 3 versus 4. At least the showstopper is available, but not if the pick comes through. Sean's down. That's the only big ultimate GenG had. Gone 4 versus 1, and this is at TSM. Are going to take map number 1. There's no way Guimon does any more here. Sabrosa shuts it down. 3 kills, and by far, in my opinion, the MVP of this opening map. Defending first TSM here on the attack drone, going over towards the Phoenix here as well. So not opting for the Reyna, which has been the NA specials for a long time, I think, for most teams on this particular map. Reyna obviously had a change on the orbs for the dismiss, and also Devour opening recon, just clearing over into mid, and GenG rather TSM taking full control as GenG take control of B main.
They've allowed a lot of space here for TSM to potentially work through the middle of the map, of which Cutler will just confirm, okay, are we actually this free through mid? The only thing really kind of standing in their way would be this sentry turret, which you see will activate from this position over towards the boathouse. And GenG will accordingly turn their attention towards mid. Mikhail going to be tested through tree. Paranoia will push him back, but he also threw out a shock dart, which does keep TSM a bit more honest through tree. And now the hit, or is it? GMD from the corner inside the site finds two beautiful headshots, and now TSM getting pinched up from behind. GenG flawless thus far, and it just comes down to Hayes for what would have to be a 1v5. So what does TSM have in store here for this second round? A bit of damage had been confirmed onto Hwin, but Sean once again finding first blood. It's Sabrosa who is trying to search for information through B main. That's going to be very unsuccessful. Now the curveball play not going to be finding any success either, as Guman, like you mentioned, lines him up, gets the Spectre to respond for 2. And now it is just a 2v5 overall. Sean wanted to play aggressive to the middle of the map. He just has a ghost, so no real upgrade there for TSM. And, well, Wardell will find the Sheriff for a kill. So an opportunity is starting to brew, but the problem is you've got Wardell just to 11 HP.
And there's also the spike currently being looked at kind of by Guman. I mean, he doesn't actually have full sights on it, but he's very close by. Smoke's going to come down to slow things. And like you mentioned, the HP not looking great, actually, for either player. So it's going to come down to reaction here from either side. There is going to be a second response. You see Hwin's close by, so even if Guman goes down, the trade will be there. And, I mean, it's not even going to be required. Spike will be found again. Doesn't really matter what happens over this side of the map. Kusa could die. He could give over the Stinger. But even that being the case, I don't know that's going to be enough for Cutler.
No, not on 3 HP. Again, no spike in hand. He's got to rotate all the way back towards this. And you do see Guman has pushed into the attacking spawn. A couple of pot shots for Cutler. And the time for him to even collect this spike and try to make a play would be hard-pressed to be successful. But he'll give it a try. Collects
no time.
No time. So
again, dying for Kusa dying over towards B, not the worst thing in the world. And now Sean straight away. A Sheriff 2-tap into the dismiss. And that just might be the push. I mean, TSM down to 3 now.
Was it a 2-tap or just the headshot collide? I don't know, but I mean, that cannot happen. I was about to bring up the point that GenG, yeah, you're up 2-0, but this is third round where this is the weakest third round arsenal that they've had so far. Not apparently, as the Sheriff will find 2 kills. Sabrosa trying to make his way over. Kusta here with a ghost. And there will still be a lot of pressure for TSM, but the problem is, can you get through Sean?
There's already been rotations. I mean, look at this. GenG are here to play. Now they got 4 members roughly nearby. Hwin still hanging out over towards potentially into Pizza Market, into Spawn. We're under a minute. TSM, they don't have a lot of great control elsewhere. You do have Hayes kind of checking out mid. There could still be TSM rotating off. You can see the TSM are potentially getting cold feet here, just trying to fire some shots in, maybe find something through the smoke, hoping they don't get swung and killed by Sean. This Ferrari Reyna just getting these taps. The good news for TSM is that GenG actually haven't picked up any guns. Of course, both guns are still waiting in B main. And the difficulty with TSM is if they leave B main, then they do give the guns over. So they kind of want to keep control here and maybe commit to B anyway.
Kusta thinking about it, changing the angle. Does he want to try to push through this dark cover, though, is the question. Again, like you mentioned, those weapons would be huge, and TSM is going to back up to try to save. That does allow those ARs to be collected for free, though, so that is an expensive round for TSM in more ways than one.
As TSM are starting to move over towards the A side of things, Hwin is watching this one. Could be a 1-tap and a dash out. Shot could be pretty big as well. Shot gets massive damage.
Not just on the one, but on the 2 different players now put into the yellow. TSM have not fully committed yet, but the Bladestorm has been earned by getting 2 of those ultimate orbs. Now the battle will start to ensue. Hwin really wants to hold on to this. Drone able to find not just 1, but 2 of his own. Up top from Erdell! Able to find the headshot on the double updraft play. So GenG's in a 2v3 situation. Sean, do you want to Empress is the real question. Will be the first one forward to try to contest any post-plant setup, and he does find 1. Gets the dismiss. Cutler's only on 27 HP, but he's worked his way underneath and has been completely concealed in the effort. Wardell still holding long, is no longer just on a Bladestorm. He's got a Vandal to work with. Nobody checks Cutler. Wardell watching over the top. Both will find an individual kill, and TSM find their first round. A lot of aggressive utility being thrown out for GenG as they want to try to control this long A area. curveball coming through. Recon bolt as well. The spam shots for Guamon not going to be good enough for an elimination. So first blood does tilt in favor of TSM, who do still have a run it back and a Hunter's Fury to use for this hit if so required.
Tough situation for Guamon there. He was about to be spotted by the recon. He was just hoping that he could find a timing to get a kill. He knew he was probably dead. As soon as the recon pings him, no real chance of surviving through the smoke there. Just had to trade 1-for-1, but couldn't quite get that one kill. Drone now following another drone, the owl drone that is into A, and it's pretty clear right now. Drone's not going to get a kill here, but he'll confirm that the site is entirely free. Okay, that's got to be a bit of tax coming from Mikhail. Okay.
That's huge. The run it back finds absolutely nothing. You essentially lose your follow-up player. Hayes timing here. He will not actually get it onto Kusta, who nearly gets the timing on the follow-up peak. But with the spike down and still a Hunter's Fury to play with, this would have to be a big piece of contact here for Kusta, who is just going to wait for more rotators for TSM. So this is going to leave Wardell on the site by himself. If Kusta can take down the Sova right around the corner, it would be massive, but he doesn't check it. Now the Hunter's Fury could be what is needed for TSM to try to hold this up. Into the site goes Drone, finds himself one and a second. Could he get a third? No. But Mikhail running out of time. Recon Bolt comes out. Wardell will finish the final kill as he just kept lurking in hell, and TSM go 2 in a row.
It's the A retake. I think it's been pretty unfortunate from GenG so far. They've really struggled there. Empress has been held on to for a couple rounds in a row. So we talked about potential timing for Sean. Timing's gone for Sean now as they try and rush their way through A main and get destroyed by Drone.
Easy peasy, no problems for Drone. Yeah. Again, aggressive take for TSM through A main. Wardell with the operator up top. Will there be any timing on this peak? Owl drones will be exchanged. Drone tries to make his way forward with run it back, but does get instantly denied. Mikhail from the side, able to find one, not a second. Rosa again. How many times is he going to be able to find the counter trade? Wimon into the site, not going to get to Sabrosa either. And TSM once more successfully take the A site. And it's down to Hwin and his 2 comrades to see if they can find a way to try to retake.
TSM have landed a lot of shots through smoke here, specifically onto Guimand. You also saw the shot through the floorboards over to Hwin, and now the real shot from Wardell onto Hwin that actually takes him down. Sabros has full control so far in towards the smoke and the... Well, I was going to say he was going to push on to Sean and maybe get that kill, but Sean responds, and this is where Sean might want to go huge. He's got 3 kills. Still got the inputs available, 6 shots available. Can't quite get into Cutler now for the 1v1.
Clutchler. Maybe holding it. Sentry turret still there. And oh no! Kusta jumps off the defusal, finds the headshot, and GenG are able to clutch up the round and go up by 1. But on the other side, a lot of utility for TSM again. Early Nano Swarm will be sent through the middle of the map where TSM, to be fair, are pretty stacked. Dark cover will allow the swing. Kusta's able to read 1 rifle. Paranoia comes out. There's the challenge. Hunter's Fury also going to be committed for this. Win will take a bit of friendly fire, but at the end of it all, GenG walk away with first blood, and they denied the spike planter for now. Sabrosa will collect the spike, but he's kind of stuck at the moment, and we'll have to use the teleport onto the site. Operator be operator. Now to the Blade Storm. Now it's a knife fight between both. Oh boy, it's going back and forth. What weapon do you want? Respect the 1v1, please. Cloudburst being exchanged. Win misses the right click. Has to try to get a quick scope. And oh my goodness. Dancing with the devil were both of our Jet players. But it will be TSM who gain control of the B site for the 2v2 to play.
Yeah, dancing with maybe 2 left feet there. How do you miss that right click? Oh, that really hurts. That could have been such a massive play from Hwin. And GenG, they could have had a 3v1 in the situation. I mean, thankfully for there, Guimand picks up an extra. Sabrosa now 1 versus 2. GenG, I mean, a double peek will do it. There's not a lot of health. Sabrosa's on 63, so as long as they don't line up, I mean, this should be it. Lea's going to come through. Sabrosa tucking in very close to the boxes now. And as long as there's no timing or lineup again, it should be a trade. It won't even be required. Sean will just get the swing and the kill. And into the defuse as well. And
attacking lockdown will be spent first. Defensively, Kusta still holding on to his. Will he immediately use this to counter? Maybe it's just going to be off the informational read. Win will be blocked out by the dark cover. Up and over. Nice shots from Kusta, but he does fall. So no more defensive lockdown available. More spam shots to the dark cover. None will commit, and we go 4v4 from here. TSM will be allowed to get onto the B site and plan. And keep in mind that Sabrosa is still lurking mid-map.
That's so strange. Kusta held on to that. He could have just played counter lockdown, you know, pretty quickly there as well. He holds on to it, dies. I think maybe GenG were thinking they'll just play for the retake instead, play the lockdown for the actual retake, but now that's gone. And that's going to take this a lot of effort now for GenG to do this. We still have the same Empress from round 3, by the way, for Sean. If he wants to go for it this round, it would be a good round for it. Hunter's Fury available from Cutler, but he's backside, so won't be able to use it offside. And a huge recon that reveals a couple members.
And Drone is able to convert onto one. Cutler, beautiful shock dart for a second. Sabrosa will give away his position in mid-market, but I just don't know if it's going to make too much of a difference. Win has missed a handful of operator shots, and fortunately Sean's able to kind of make this a bit more respectable, but there was no world that TSM dropped that retake. Drone, early run it back, coming through. And he does find the first blood and a second beautiful snap onto Guamon. Around that, TSM should be feeling pretty confident in considering the weaponry, but Sean with the Sheriff is definitely something to keep in the back of your mind, and it will be an operator to finally take him off the table. Wardell hoping for a second shot, but the Cloudburst just barely denies full line of sight. And so it's going to be a 2v4 situation that GenG are going to be required to try to find a way to retake in, or at least make this punishing in some way.
I mean, GenG looking for damage here, and, well, the name of the damage comes through from Sean, but Sean's been taken out already, so he's done his job. In terms of at least getting one kill. That might be the only kill, though. The rest of GenG hoping to find a few more on rotation out. They know B main is safe, so the rest of TSM will be leaving this way. Nanoswarm's going to prevent Mikhail from swinging. Also, it's a long-range Bucky. Gwyn's going to get one. Gives Drone a third kill so far this round. And Drone even using the runner back, you know, part of me thinks was it an overcommit, but at the same time, just having the safety, get the round in there. Don't lose the pistols. Don't do anything, you know, weird. GenG coming through with the expected A main control. Drone coming through onto the B side of things where Sean is waiting, and again we still have the lockdown from previous runs as well, so really I think GenG have the ultimates required to get this round underway. Here comes it. Hunter's Fury, which I don't know that's going to find too much, but TSM Wardell's going to get that opening kill, so it's a 1-for-1 so far, and GenG are going to use this from the shadows to confirm Gimon to the backside.
Yeah, it was kind of a delayed call on do we want to use the Hunter's Fury. You saw the recon bolt was able to recover onto 2 players inside the boathouse, but just a small hesitation, not really allowing the Hunter's Fury to find any kills, but it does create enough space to, like you mentioned, go 4-4. Sabrosa still mid-map in this Owl drone. If it scouts, it could be really bad. He's stuck in a corner at the moment, has to try to use his Shrouded Step to get away, and boy does he. The dirt cover was there, but Wynn's able to find the elimination. But TSM still bounced back, and they have rotated through the middle of the map and have made their way onto A successfully without contest.
And that's the thing, right? Because GenG really heavily rotated over towards B. Again, Gimon used it from the shadows there, leaving Mikhail by himself. And between a rock and a hard play, stuck over towards 3 players coming from both sides. Cutler's going to see that the retake is going to be mainly heaven-based. Glass as well. Again, this will be a good time for the Empress to come on through. GenG need to try and squeeze through 2 last rounds. Last 2 rounds for both teams is going to be a full commit. No one's going to be saving. No one's going to be letting this one go. Here comes the paranoia. Here comes the retake.
And once again, Wardell over the top. The updraft peak, +1 on the low ground, looking for the full ace. He gets the right click. Wardell for 5. GenG is playing a bit more aggressive this time. Sean in the dark cover through middle, but you also have Guamon who's trying to take this peek through Cubby. Aldrin will allow him to do this, and Sabrosa is trying to make sure there is no full defensive push through. Oh, does he read the players in any of these corners? I think he saw one. That'll do well, but Wynn is there to find the immediate trade, and with that, he will sub out the judge for a Vandal.
Well, so the good news for GenG is they keep it close, still 1-1 here. There is not going to be an Empress for this entire first half. Now confirmed with Sean's death, but the lockdown can still be pretty huge. Expecting the lockdown to maybe be the savior here. It depends if Kusta can get out or not. He's actually in a bit of an aggressive angle. He's right on site here. If he wanted to really use his lockdown, he'd have to be playing roughly where I think Mikhail is. With Wynn down as well, it's going to be rough again. Just keeping parity here. Gimon trading effectively, keeping things close.
But he's having trouble with his recon bolt and is trying to escape back to market, which is, I would say, very fortunate to do. 3v3 situation, TSM going to try to overwhelm Mikhail over towards A, in which he just has a Spectre, and I agree. Needs to find at least one, but Cutler snaps while looked like he was jumping midair to get on top of the ledge. Plant will come through, and now TSM have numbers for a 3v2, but keep in mind that Kusa still has a lockdown to use.
Cutler is very low, but just having the Sova alive for a post-plant is such a big deal. I mean, the extra utility alive. By the way, the triple stack with the smoke, which I think is something that GenG are not expecting, so just doing something a little bit off here, a little bit weird. GenG are not going to be prepared for. Now the potential to go into heaven, this could be huge. Drone! Oh, he doesn't get the kill. He dies. Still a 1v2.
And the lockdown does get destroyed at the very last second, but Kusta is going to be responsible for these last two members from opposite angles. Not going to be able to find the timing onto Wardell, who puts him in his place. And for a second straight map, TSM will be up 7-5 at the half. We'll swap the sides and be back right after this.
Want to see what they can pull it together for this opening pistol now. Drone with the opportunity for a big flash, and he'll get it.
Oh, and the simultaneous peek from Covey, but well responded to as GenG. A beautiful recovery. As they come on top of the trades, Hayes is still lingering just in case someone wants to rotate a crossover towards A, but that will not be the case. So now TSM will have to retake the B site in the 2v3. GenG not fully committing as of yet. Hayes is considering this cloud burst, but as he waits, it'll dissipate. He's going to find one kill for free. GenG not even paying attention to mid-market whatsoever. We've got ourselves a 2v2.
Yeah, but Huin's on 3 here. Would have to find an excellent timing if one shot lands. And oh my goodness, speaking of one shot there, that was brilliant from Huin. Dashes away as well. Now Cutler's got it all to do. 59 as well. And Kusta finding the headshot. Yeah, it's too easy.
But GenG do recover and put themselves right through a lobby without being penalized too hard for it. And Wardell sticking onto a Bucky, considering how he wants to try to use this, as Sean has made his way onto the site, but there is no spike a part of his play, at least not as of yet. It's still on the way forward. Sabrosa and Wardell trying to stay alive inside Tree, but there's so much spam fire coming through. And well, Sean will have even pushed through that, gets the recovery and the overheal. Good help from Guamam and GenG. Flawless thus far, 5v2 situation. Hayes makes things a bit more interesting, but is tagged up in the process. And it's going to have to be down to some beautiful shots, and, well, that's unfortunate. Drone actually flashes himself, trying to find a timing peek onto Sean. Leaves thing down to 1. Hayes, again, keeping things contested, but this would be a very difficult 1v3.
And the toe spots him as well. There's a flank coming on through. Hayes is caught reloading. But this round so far has been pretty slow. TSM have got a lot of members rotating over. Drones close by. Drones here now. Paranoia is going to split the C as well. GenG are trying to get onto site, and this could be an opening kill. Sabrosa and Mikhail trading 1-1.
But is one going to be enough? We got a pinstripe kill feed. It does favor TSM when everything's all said and done. Kusta, though, able to keep things down to a 2v2. Up top, Sean trying to make a sneaky play, but gets denied. And so it comes just down to Kusta. 1v2 situation. Has a little bit of utility to play with. Double peek here from TSM, and well, Kusta's spray transfer not quite locked in. TSM win the round, and they go up again, 8-7. Different look here. TSM will put Sabrosa in the backside by Wine, and Win's gonna watch that find the headshot. First blood for GenG, plus the ultimate orb recovered. Does allow for a Hunter's Fury to be brought onto the table. Cutler, did he see a leg right there? I believe he did, but that information seems to have been mutual. Shock Dart will be pretty darn well placed. Down to 75 HP is the jet for GenG, and now it just comes down to a 60 seconds to play. How do you want to navigate this 5v4?
Really important that Mikhail actually has the Hunter's Fury here, so fighting for the orb control is very important for both sides, and also getting Huinel alive as well retains their numbers advantage. No trades available for TSM. Going to come down to Drone potentially playing up close, but he doesn't have market control, and that's the upsetting part for him, as he's now going to have to back out of that position. Wardell can't quite get the shot, and Cutler falls, so TSM have the opportunity to maybe bring numbers closer in favor, and they're still not going to get a trade.
And with 2 kills over towards the A site, GenG say it's go time. They're going to execute right on over to A. There should be information that Wardell was nearby. But you know that you've got him as low as you do. Maybe it doesn't make much of a difference. He finds not just one, but a second. Are you kidding me? Tailwinds away. And Wardell has now single-handedly made this a potential round where TSM can fight back. 15 seconds to go. And GenG, they will get the spike off, but they're going to be playing this post plant very individualistic.
3 HP as well, just barely surviving, but it's good enough. It keeps the numbers 3 and 3. To be fair, you look at Huin, he's probably about a 1 shot away, so effectively both jets now. Just the 1 tap, and it's going to be potentially quite a tough retake here as well. Kusta hanging out over towards short. Are they going to check him? This is kind of non-standard. It's a free kill, and Kusta will definitely go 1-for-1. He gets even more. TSM down to only Hayes in a 1v3 running out of time. Hayes is looking to back out.
Yeah, and they, of course, know exactly where Hayes is positioned. No chance for a successful retake nor defuse, so Hayes will save the weapon and hopefully just get out without too much contest, which it looks like that will be the case. So
just checking for TSM aggression. I mean, this is very similar to what we saw TSM do earlier in the other half as well. Just wait to see if the defending team is going to do something aggressive, especially with not the best equipment. Here comes the lockdown that we've been waiting for as well. And that's just going to give them the free sight. No one from TSM can really challenge this one. Wardell's going to look for an entry. He's actually got a decent angle to play with here. He's inside the smoke as well, which is great. And Sabrose has a kill.
Run it back for Drone. Not going to find anything, but Sabrose, like you mentioned, does find the first kill. One knife available for Wardell. Really flirting with disaster there. Does get taken down. Does go 1-for-1 overall. Win able to take down Drone after where he had initially triggered his run it back. Hazed is still up top. Potential for him to maybe sneak a kill on the planter, but the spike does get down successfully. Will that be win conditioned enough for GenG? Still yet to be determined as Hayes finds another kill on the way in. A lockdown could be used defensively here. Win would be trapped underneath Hell if that is the commitment. As they make their way forward, Cutler is able to find Win, and now it's just down to Kusta. And he won't even get the better of Cutler. Goodness, he locked down the angle. Nanostorm will fade, and Cutler will get the defusal. TSM back up on top 9-8.
Win's obviously going to go towards the Blade Storm, but it's not going to be that case. Potentially fast from GenG here as well. Straight in, and Drone punishes.
Oh my goodness, that's such a massive kill for Drone. Now Hayes playing for mid-market. Sabrosa lurking over to help. Oh boy. It's just a brilliant read as well, just to recap for the final point that TSM know that GenG are going to want to try to play aggressive. Maybe catch TSM off guard. Aldrone comes right through. Wardell in a bit of trouble, trying to spam. Has Sabrosa there for a bit of help. Wardell now a bit stuck, or is he? Paranoia comes through. He's able to find one. Spamming to the dark cover. Sabrosa finds a second. And now it's just down to one last player on this hit, which Kusta does successfully take the win. So this is still a doable 2v3, especially if Cutler cannot find a way to contest Win playing deep by A.
They need another kill, and Drone's here to receive as well. He receives a bullet to the head. Holy Kusta. What a great shot, and that's the hand-me-down hero rifle from Guimond as well. The only gun they brought into this round that's now in the hands of Kusta, and Huin's going to pick up a freebie as well on the ground. A 2v2 is a lot more workable. There is still an ultimate available. Cutler would have to find a bit of a timing through glass. It's all four members surviving, all holed up around tree and also glass, and I don't think either team realizes just how close everyone is.
Well, this is interesting. Left. TSM seem to be kind of negotiating off the fact that we'll just play a retake here. You saw the Aldrin was still available. Shock Dart and Recon both, of course, are charged up as well. So a lot of tools to play with. And TSM are just holding in garden. They see the information, but Kusta gets his third elimination. Knows the fourth player was nearby, has a lockdown if he needs it. Hunter's Fury's gonna come out trying to stall for as long as humanly possible. Can he find the connection? Sure does.
So B split here. It's gonna come down to info from Cutler to be able to spot this. He's still hanging out. Sean knows that Cutler is somewhere around spawn. Attacking lockdown's going to come into place as well. Obviously, there's no Hunter's Fury this time around. Cutler used that the previous round. The drone's been killed, so they won't spot the extra demand over to market. Should be a pretty simple B take from here.
Cutler nearly gets the elimination, though. Hunter's Fury going to come out offensively. Mikhail's able to find Hazed. TSM currently stuck behind their spawn. Sabrosa trying to find the lurker of Win, not going to find the kill, and so now GenG have a much easier look at this 5v3 in which they should be able to get the spike down without any contest. So it's all down to a post-plant break for TSM if they even want to go for it.
Their money's not the best, actually. We've traded enough kills that, I mean, you have to look at all the previous rounds here. Despite TSM kind of having 3 rounds won in a row, they've been dying a lot as well, which means they've been rebuying a lot, which means in this particular round, they're going to go for the save. Looking for a potential A split here as well. You notice both teams have kind of given up control of A main. As I say, that Win is going to refine that control possibly through once the smoke disappears. And Cutler and Hayes have a bit of a crossfire, or did have a bit of a crossfire set up over towards mid. Drone playing a close angle over towards B. They haven't heard anything on B for a while. There should be a bit of info coming on through, and there it is. They should know now for sure it's A.
Pixel Peek not successful. Sabrosa caught out inside the garden, has to back up by the recon bolt that forces him away. Now as it fades away, Sabrosa through the dark cover. How does he find one? Wardell gets one more, and now he's got the angle locked up. Him and Hayes combining. Last player left alive is Mikhail, and no chance to get away from the sights of Wardell for 3. GenG have gotten into mid-market. The door will be broken. Wardell's making sure no reinforcements can cross. Drone is the one responsible, though, for making sure that B stays safe, and boy, has he. Finds first blood. Hot Hands also in the mix. Cutler trying to work this with him, but not even going to be required. Wardell from the backside of the defensive spawn, able to use the Blade Storm for another elimination. We've got a 4v2. Make it down to just a 1v4. Last player left is Win. Sees one. ADS taps are good. Still has some room to work with. No spike in hand. Still lingering over towards the defensive spawn alley. But timing here could still be good for him. Depends on how
30
he clears
seconds left.
this.
Will be traded.
Should be traded. There's the first. Tailwinds away. Still an opportunity here with 20 seconds to go. The problem is that Hayes knows that the spike is down to the defensive spawn and there are no cloud bursts available for win. So you'd have to win one more full-fledged kill. Gets
10
the spike
seconds
into
left.
hand. Tries to bait out the peak. And he finds the shoulder, but no drone! Locks the shots down in TSM. They take the series 2-0 as they advance to the winner's bracket.